Hey everybody, it's Marianne with OnlineTechLessons.com, and today we're having a very short mini lesson on armchair surfing using Google Maps. Now, armchair surfing just means that we go to Google maps.google.com, and we can be able to view things such as past high schools or colleges, see what changes they've made to them if you just kind of want to stroll down memory lane. What about the house you grew up in? Or the house your children grew up in? What about surfing to some of the places that you would like to be able to visit to, and you maybe know that you won't have time to, or we can't because of COVID right now, or whatever, health things keep us from traveling, or whatever the case may be, being able to go online and view some of these places and seeing how beautiful they are or how intriguing or whatever the case may be. So let's get started on that, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So I am going to open up, and we'll get back to that beautiful picture there in a minute. So we're going to go to Google Maps. So we're going to type in maps.google.com. And if you can't remember that, then you just go to Google and you type in Google Maps, and it'll bring you to the same place. Now, we're looking at a map, right? And you look at it and you're like, okay, I can scroll in, I can scroll out, kind of boring. Well, did you know down in the left-hand corner that you can hit satellite button, and now you're looking at a satellite version of this, and now you can kind of scroll in and see a little bit more, and you're looking at it from the top. So, it gives you just kind of a little bit more picture of what that environment's like, right? Is there grass in that area? Is it sand? What's going on with this, because if over here, if we type in, let's say, Arizona desert, okay, it's going to take us to Arizona, all right? We're going to see, let's see what that territory looks like. Oh, it's a lot of, sand. Are there, there hills or mountains? What's going on with this? And then here's a lake, or what is that? Oh, that's the Gulf of California, friends. The Gulf of California. And then, you can just kind of move around and see what's going on with the type of stuff that's going on here. And then as we move, look at the difference as we move across the country. Look how green the eastern part of the country is. And then as you scroll over here, it just really gets, sandier. And then we can zoom out and we can see, okay, up here in the northwest part of the country, it's more green up there towards Washington, along Northern California. And then as we get down to the desert areas here down in New Mexico and Arizona, down here into Mexico. So it's kind of, but these things are common, right? We're going to see that, we see this all the time. We know kind of what goes on, but if you wanted to see these views on here, you definitely could use that for. Over on the right-hand side, you see, you can actually go in here and click on the second little button down from the top, and that will actually zoom in back to the area that you're in. So if you ever kind of get lost and you just want to go back home again, you can do that. But let's get into the exciting part of armchair surfing, and let's turn it back to the map. And here we are looking at this. Now, say you wanted to grow up, look at the house that you grew up in. For me, that's in Florida. So I'm going to type in my old address, and I was looking at this earlier. And so here's my old address in Florida. I don't live there. My family doesn't live there any longer. They sold it a couple of years ago and moved over to the west part of Florida near my brother. Here is so it's the St. Johns River, right? So they were pretty close to that. You can see in Jacksonville exactly, if we scroll out, what part of town that's in. And when we scroll back in, we can get some more information again. All right, still just a plain map at this point, right? Well, here's the thing. Pegman, down in the right-hand corner. My name for him is Ed. You can name yours whatever name that you want to name him. My guy's name is Ed, after my grandfather who passed away before I was born, so I never actually met him. But, and just like a year before I was born, I think, somewhere around there. Anyway, so I'm going to grab Pegman. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my mouse over him. It turns into a hand, and I'm going to left click on him, and then I'm going to drag him to wherever on this map that I want to go. And I'm going to show you what happens as I click on them, right? And I move them out. See all the streets turned blue. That means that Google was there. Google has gone through and they have gone through with their car that has the camera on top and taken pictures of that. So the red pin is at the address where we Googled over here in the right hand corner, right? And so we're going to come back over here and we're going to drop that green dot on the bottom, shows where he's going to land. So I'm going to go over there and I'm going to drop him right there. And that's going to put him right at the house that I grew up. This is the side view of it. Okay, I want to go over here and I want to see more of the front. So I'm going to click over here and I'm going to go up this other street, which is the actual street, San Fernando. And now when I go to a new part on a map, what I do is I take my mouse and I click in the picture. See on the bottom, this arrow that's moving around? That's me doing that. And I'm going to click here in the picture, and that time tells Google I'm there. So now I can use the arrows on my keyboard to turn, right? Little by little, as I want to turn, I can turn. Okay, now I can see the front of it. So this window over here was my bedroom window. So was this one. I had quite a few windows for this house. As you can see it here, the last time it was photographed, which down here in the right-hand corner, it'll show you the last time it was photographed was January 2019. But if you go back to where we were over here on the side, right, and we turn back towards this house, this side shows you that it was last photographed in April of 2019. So they drove down San Fernando Road here in January of 2019, and then they didn't drive back down this way until April of 2019 on Ponce de Leon. So you never know, but down the right-hand corner, it's going to show you when that image was captured. Okay, so we're going to scroll along here, and sometimes you'll see video, cars in the way and whatnot. But if you take like I said, I use both my mouse and my arrows on my keyboard. But if I use the mouse and I click farther, and I can kind of just, like I said, walk along, and go down here, and then I can go this way and just walk along. But if I wanted to go further down the road and wasn't being that patient, then I could take my mouse and that arrow and click here and then go see this park that was near my parents' house, right? And I haven't been there in quite a bit because, like I said, my parents moved, and I didn't even know that this park had been fenced in, which is really cool. I knew about the new play equipment. The swings are still the same, but the new play equipment was put in here, and they fenced it in, which is really cool because, as you can see, it's close to the street. If we went farther down the road, the park continues, and you can see right here was a house that my friend Karma lived in. These trees used to not be there, so I don't know why they put trees so close to the street like that. But she lived there for a while, and she was a good friend. She actually lived with us for a little while. So see what I mean about reminiscing? Oh, look, there's the house my friend lived in. Oh, look, here's the park that we used to hang out at. The swings, I think, were facing the other direction and were a little bit different. So see what I mean? But it's like taking a look at things from your past that you didn't remember. Let's take a look down this road real fast. Let me show you something. I often tell this story, and I'll tell it again. When I was in junior high is when I first got interested in computers. And I took a class, and I always tell people that I took a class at DuPont Junior High that summer, which is this school. Okay, so this school started it for me. And this school is, down, like I said, a couple blocks down the street from my parents' house, probably half a mile that we just traveled down. And I took a computer class at this school. And if we go down here and see me using the mouse, we can go down to the end of streets. And sometimes if we're not careful, we'll overshoot that street. So let's go back over to here, and we'll go in front of this school. Okay. And let's get down here just a little bit down the road, because you'll see the school is 2 or 3 stories. I think at one point of the school they actually have 3 stories, of at least of steps that you have to go up. And I used to take a computer class there in junior high during the summer, and I messed up my foot and I was on crutches that summer, and I had to go all the way that half a mile on crutches walking to take this computer class. And then I'd have to go up all those steps because this school, and I don't know if they are now, but they were not ADA friendly at the time. And so I'd go up these steps. And when I came home on the last day, I told my mom I wanted a computer. And my grandmother had lived with us at the time. And she said, "Did you hear that, Mother? Marianne wants an apple." And my grandmother thought about it. And she said, "Well, I don't have any apples, but I could make you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich." And so that kind of started it back then, even then with seniors, my impression upon how seniors needed help with technology, even back then. Some people just, they didn't think it would catch on, or, they thought that computers were going to be huge and only for businesses and stuff. Little did we know that we would have smartphones that were just as smart as the computer that I'm using to record this today.
What do you want to turn on?
That was Alexa speaking out of turn.
What do you want to turn on?
Alexa, cancel. Alexa, cancel. Computer, cancel.
Okay.
Her name is Computer in my office. I have one in my office and one in my bedroom. And in my office, her name is Computer, which is probably not a good thing. I should probably rename her Amazon or something. And then in my bedroom, her name is Alexa. So anyway, so we've been able to reminisce about this a little bit. So sorry I'm taking up a little bit more time than I wanted to. But if we go back, right, now we can say, okay, I want to go see, let's go. You could use this. You get the idea. You could use it for old past schools or where you worked. What changes have they made? Are they still there? Different stuff like that. But what if we wanted to go visit, say, London? London is one of my favorite places in the world. What if we wanted to go do that? And we've seen movies where Nottingham is one of the streets in there, right? Well, I looked it up a little bit earlier because this is the second time I've done this video. And what if we were in London, right? We wanted to go see some stores in this area to go shopping on, right? Here, there's the pin mark that's on Nottingham. So let's zoom in. Let's take a look. Down here in the right-hand corner, the plus and the minus. If you don't have a roller ball on your mouse, you can use those to zoom in or to zoom out as well. So we're going to go over here and we're going to put it in the middle of the page for you, and we're going to zoom in, and we're going to see that that's Nottingham Street. And then this one going vertically through there, that's Nottingham Place. I think it's Nottingham Street is like the famous one. So we're going to grab Ed. Okay, we're going to grab the peg man down here. We're going to put it out here, and we're going to see, look at all these streets that are blue. And so I'm going to drop Ed on Nottingham, and we're going to go shopping. Okay, so as we turn around, we're going to click on the screen, and we're going to notify Google that we're here. And then we're going to be able to choose where we want to go. Okay, I think down the street is where we should go, don't you? We're going to move our mouse down here, and we're going to see different little things going on. There's stores and shops over here on the left-hand side, and then up above them is apartments. What do they call them in London? I just went brain dead. Lofts and stuff. So here, this little icon is going to show, the pink one here is going to show that it's a hotel, right? So if we click on that link there, it'll actually bring up what it is. It's Hotel La Place. And so it'll show us that, right? And then we can go through and make reservations if we want, or find out, what their hours are and stuff like that. Maybe we want to go shopping. And so we go farther down the street and we find another little shop down here, maybe. These seem to be like little, to us, it would kind of be Airbnbs, I think, but they have like more than one room. So here, if we click on Cedar House, right, we'll click on that one, on this little green one, that's Cedar House. So maybe let's go to the other end of the street. Okay, so back down, zoom, 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 right? We're going to go down here, And we're going to go down to the end of the street. And now there is Peter's Pharmacy. I did not know my friend in England had a pharmacy. So again, if we click on that, it's going to show that it's a pharmacy, and it's going to give you the hours. And it says it's closed right now because it's 4:35 Eastern time here. And so that means it's like 9:35 there, right? It's going to give you their website and their exact address. If you clicked on that, that would open up the map and show you exactly how to get there. If that was, then you can even send it to your phone so that you can open up Google Maps on your phone and go there if you're in London. Okay. Here's a little restaurant next to it, right? So if we click there, it's going to tell us it's called The Real Greek. And then you can even share. You can click on share here, and you could type in somebody's, you could share it to Facebook, or you could copy this link and send that to a person, like an email and stuff like that. What's really cool though is some of them have the ability, like this one I found a little bit earlier, to be able to view inside of these places. This one was in this area. It's a pub, and you can see it's got, just like we would have like a normal bar and everything. And then a lot of them have, restaurants, see here's their menu. And you can just kind of move around in here and see different stuff in this restaurant. And you can see they have it upstairs. I don't know if they seat people up there. They probably do. I don't think we can go up there. But you can just see around. So if you're trying to see somewhere and see, oh, I want to go eat there, what does the inside place look like? What is the ambiance of it? Is this someplace that I could relax? Is this someplace that I could take a business client to and have a lunch one-on-one with them? I don't think I would like the seat right here. You've got a big pole sitting in the middle of that one, I just noticed. But you get the picture. You get the feeling for a place. See what it's like. I wouldn't mind going and having lunch here. What about you guys? And so, then you can click on different pictures from them. Over here on the left, they're showing the outside of the place, and you can see their sign there, and you can know the entrance to it. And then you can go out here again and kind of, well, that's kind of a cool picture, right? With kind of transpose this car as it was moving. But yeah, you can click out here in the street and use your mouse, and still doing that with that car, and see what the outside of the place looks like. Down here on the right, you can zoom in, zoom out. You can see what other shops are in the neighborhood. We're still in the photo view of this. We can click on here and see what kind of food they're serving, So now I'm getting hungry and thirsty, but you get it. Did you know ice is not a common thing in Europe either? When my daughter and I stayed in the UK for 4 months, and every time we asked for a drink with ice in it, people thought we were absolutely crazy. Or if we would go purchase ice for our little freezer in the cottage that we were staying in, they'd automatically ask, "Are we having a